neighbors think that I'm crazy again, because it's kind of fun now. I just like coming outside now that I can. So it is Monday, June 1st, and I am getting myself ready for work. It's about 8 a.m. It's just before 8 a.m. I have to leave here in about an hour and a half. And I wanted to try to start weekly vlogging again. Hopefully this doesn't fail miserably. But I need to have less lengthy check-ins with y'all. So my schedule for the week is thus. These are the 3 books I want to tackle this week. I'm buddy reading City of Girls and Imaginary Friends, and I'm reading Crave on my own. I have all 3 on audio, so I can listen to them while I do things, and I'm just going to read them as I feel like it. But I'm going to start with Crave this morning. My coffee is brewing. I'm trying to get the creature behind me to eat his breakfast. And then I'm going to settle in and read for a little bit before I go upstairs and shower and get ready to actually leave for work. I don't know how I'm going to do check-ins, but we'll figure it out. I'm trying to figure out my vlogging style. I most definitely need a gimbal. So if anybody has any good gimbal recommendations, let me know, because I know y'all are tired of like the shaking. And the little tripod that I got to vlog with helps a little, because I can at least put you down more often. But when I'm walking around with y'all, I want to make you seasick. So off to coffee and getting the dogs fed and reading. Hammy, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's that? You want to sniff it? That's the camera. Hello, it is after work. It is technically Tuesday. I think it's like 12:30 in the morning. I am going to shower. I'm also going to pour myself a glass of wine. I've only been reading Crave today, and it's really good. Well, I listened to it to and from work because I've been really enjoying it. It's giving me like Twilight-y vibes, and I'm actually really enjoying it. I think that it makes fun of itself a little bit, and yes, there's parts where I'm like, you know, because she's a little stupid and a little slow, our main character, but like I think she's got to be for this whole plot to work. But anyway, I'm gonna keep reading until I'm gonna shower, have some wine, read a little bit in bed, and then go to sleep. I don't work tomorrow, so I can get more done. Maybe tomorrow I'll start one of the other books, maybe City of Girls. I've got to unpack my Hungry Root box, which came. And if you don't know what Hungry Root is, they don't pay me for anything. I just get it. It's like a food delivery service, and they send you groceries basically with recipes, and you can make them for the week. And I get, sorry, Turbo's very thirsty. I get the vegetarian options, not because I'm a vegetarian, but because I don't tend to eat a lot of vegetables. I eat a lot of crap because I eat on the fly a lot. So I like this because it forces me to at least occasionally have a really good healthy meal. And they're actually really yummy and super easy to put together. Like they take me like 10 minutes and it's really yummy. And even my boyfriend likes them, and I just thought that he wouldn't. So anyway, I'm gonna unpack this, put this in the fridge, I'm gonna read, I'm gonna go to bed, and we will talk another time, because it is shower and sleep and wine time.
In New York City, dozens of looters seen kicking in windows and breaking into stores across across Midtown Manhattan. Macy's iconic flagship ransacked. Reports of fire set inside. The chaos coming after a day of peaceful protest across the city.
People coming to Manhattan with the intent to take advantage of people during this very difficult time. We are going to ensure that you are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
In Seattle overnight, a face-off between protesters and police escalated quickly. Officers working to break up the crowd with tear gas and flashbangs. NBC News correspondent Jolie Kent caught in the chaos, but able to evacuate safely. In Washington, D.C., military helicopters seen flying low, appearing to try and clear protesters. Craig was there.
The flashbangs are continuing to go off. Tear gas is being used. The protesters are getting pushed back.
This
Morning, everyone.
appeared to be injured was carried to
It's
safety.
Tuesday.
Washington's chief of police
Put the news on behind me because it would be
Stop. If you
disingenuous and tone deaf for me to
stop and let this country move forward.
not share this part of what's happening in our world
coming at the same time the president
in this vlog.
to deploy the military.
We cannot allow the righteous cries of people
I don't know what the right words are.
to be drowned out.
I am not the one
Angry mob.
Earlier Monday, peaceful
who is
demonstrators were again out in force.
being faced with injustice.
Speaking up in Atlanta and rallied
I can only imagine what it feels like to have to worry about being killed by the people that are supposed to keep us safe because of something I can't even change, like the color of my skin. This makes me sad. It makes me sad that we are a powder keg in this country. So I'm not vlogging today. I'll come back because as much as this needs deference and it's time to speak and resonate with the people who make decisions, we also do need something to distract when we want the distraction from this so we can come back and focus on it. And I hope that the content that I make can give brief moments of mental respite so that people can go back and they can do the good work, who can protest peacefully, who can push for change respectfully and effectively. So I'm not vlogging today. This is today's update. This. Because it needs its voice. Because the people are mad because the people want to be heard. And they want it to stop.
Thousands of people all across the world are taking part in peaceful protests. They are marching in a show of solidarity with American demonstrators. Justice
So
for George Floyd. People
let's give them their
from
time.
New Zealand, and Australia, and England, Ireland, the Netherlands, cities in Africa, South America, the Middle East as well. They want Americans to know, they say, that they do not stand alone.
In Washington, there was an 8 o'clock curfew. And by most accounts, it seemed to have been not as many skirmishes in and around the district as the night before this morning. We're in Freedom Plaza. We're a few blocks away from.
Good morning, guys. It is Wednesday morning. It's about 8 o'clock a.m. Waiting for the coffee to brew. Because I'm going to work today. I'm working every other day this week. So no nice stretches of time off, but it gives me a nice stretch next week, so it's worth it. I spent the day yesterday, like I said I was going to do, not vlogging. I did some reading, I did some work for my channels. I also spent a lot of time digging on Instagram, just for information. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to compile some links and put them in the description. So if there's things that you want to know more about, if there's places you'd like to donate to, I highly encourage you to. Any amount of money helps. So there's not any shame in sending somebody $5 as opposed to $500. The one place I decided I wanted to put my money, because I don't have a lot of money to share around to everybody, not as much as I would like to, but I decided to put my money towards something called the Bail Project, and it's a organization that helps fund bail for people, because oftentimes our jails get clogged up with African American males in particular who cannot get out of jail before their trial because they cannot afford bail. So this organization helps to pay for that bail, and then it's sort of like a revolving fund, and then the money gets paid back, and then it's a whole thing. So I'm also going to link this John Oliver piece that he did, I think it's a couple years ago now, about the bail system in the United States. Not a lot of places have a bail system, and it's just a very strange, I'm going to call it like it is. It's a strange system. And it's a very costly system of like incarceration and legislation. That's the sound of coffee being ready. But it's also, like, I just think that his piece is very informative, and if you want to know more about what our bail system is like, I would watch that. You can pause this, go watch it, come back, and I'll make sure I have a link to the Bail Project below, so that if you want to donate to them, you can too. If you just want to make protest signs and put them in your yard, do that. If you want to raise up the voices of protesters and people of color, do that. Do what you're comfortable doing. If you want to go protest, do that. But I'm going to stop talking because I am not the voice that should be talking. I am the person who should be listening. So with all of that said, let me get some coffee. We're going to go through a little reading update. Updates. So I finished Crepe, and I am trashed for this. I love this. It's Twilight and it's not Twilight. It's definitely like has similarities in the fact that like there's a young, powerful vampire who falls in love with a girl and is rather obsessively in love with her for no apparent reason in the beginning. They're just like kismet, but they're teenagers. So okay. There are werewolves. There is some sort of interspecies battle. But other than that, the particulars are very different. My only complaint about this book, because I love this is like 4 stars. It gave me all of the like whitey feels. I pre-ordered the second book that comes out in September, and unfortunately what I'm most mad about is that it won't have this beautiful cover that I have from Bookshipbox, so I'm hoping that they'll make a companion cover for it and I can buy it, because this cover is gorgeous. It ends switching to the vampire's voice, and I need to know what happens because he has to take over the story, and I want to know where we go from here. So I'm really excited. I absolutely love this. But like I was saying, focus. Hold on. More coffee and my brain will work. My problem is that she uses the term AF too much. It's like as Sarah J. Maas in Ma, or I guess Mate, because there's people who hate the Mate, but I didn't really notice Mate. But it's like Sarah J. Maas in Ma for me. Like I can't see the word Ma anymore without like cringing, because she used it so much. She uses it like I think once. It's fine. But she uses AF. Tracy Wolf uses the term AF a lot. But like, I question whether or not this is really how teenage girls think and talk. But seeing as I am 36 years old, I don't freaking know either. So it works for me. Somebody who's closer in age to these characters may have a different opinion on some of the language choices that were made, but I'm fine with it. I loved it. I'm trash for it. Get me in the next one. Let's go. Please, Bookish Box, come out with a companion cover, because it makes me so sad when I have a special cover and then I just have like everything else in like a regular cover. And I mean, I do have the regular cover underneath, but like, so good. Anyway, so I finished that. So that's the first book in Big Boy June done. And so then I picked up Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky. It's so weird that he wrote The Perks of Being a Wallflower and now he's writing this like long, like this should be over 1,000 pages with black font.
Size, and there's so much space. Like the font is so small, like, there's so much space between lines.
Anywho. But now he's writing this like paranormal thriller thing. I don't know. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on it. I'm 3 chapters in, so I have 0 opinions. I started this right before bed and then I just like passed out last night. I was very tired. I'm going to feed the dogs and have my coffee and read a little bit of this before I go to work. So, yeah. Coffee, paranormal stuff. Let's go. Okay, I'm tired of filming this update. I've tried to film it 3 times. This is my 3rd time. It's after midnight. I work today. Very tired. So we're gonna do this rapid fire as much as I can. Okay. I'm home from work. I poured myself a glass of nice white wine. I'm debating whether I read or I watch some QI, which is this British panel show that I absolutely love. It used to be hosted by Stephen Fry. It's now hosted by Sandy Toxic. It is really funny, and in my humble opinion, it's one of the best television shows that was ever made. For like escapism. Anyway, but reading updates. Can you tell I'm frustrated? This is my new reading nook in my bedroom. I'm going to decorate the wall behind me. Eventually, I want the stores to open so that I can actually go out and like pick things out instead of like just ordering everything online. But when we get to that, we get to that. Imaginary Friend. I'm at about 228 pages into Imaginary Friend. It is really good. It's starting to get creepy. It's starting to do all the things that I wish Stephen King did for me. It is so good. And I'm so happy that I'm reading it. I can't believe it's taken me this long to do it. Stephen Chbosky's really good at creating like the horror movie atmosphere. You know how like when you watch a horror movie, there's all those little like repetitive sound effects that just like get you. So he does that, and especially when you have the audiobook, like you're listening and there's just this like repetitive sound thing. So it'll be like click, 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 or like hiss, 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 which when I say it sounds not scary, but when it's in the book and you're immersed in the paranormal horror part of it, very scary. So I'm really loving that. I know that there are mixed opinions on this book and that somewhere, I guess in the middle bit, people get sort of lost in the text. Like maybe it's just, I don't know if it's too long or it gets slow, or there's a lull that happens, I guess. And I'm probably, if that's true, I must be like coming to it somewhere, but I haven't experienced that yet. And I know that the ending is supposed to be somehow crazy and noteworthy, and you must talk about it. So I haven't seen any spoilers, because actually a lot of people don't want to spoil this ending, it seems like. So whatever happens, it's supposed to be like talk about worthy. That's not English, but you know what I mean. So I'm excited. This book excites me. I don't know if I'm gonna read it before bed though, because it's getting creepy. I also received at like the end of last week a link to the NetGalley arc of Joe and Lori, which came out yesterday, so Tuesday, June 2nd. And it's the story of Joe, who writes Little Women. And it's set between the 2 volumes of Little Women. And it follows the lives of the real Little Women, not the fictionalized versions that she creates. and it's just very meta and interesting, and I like this idea that like everything you know about the characters isn't real, because that's not real, but these fictional characters are the real characters, and so like they're all gonna have their own lives. It's really good. So I might read this, I might watch QI, I don't know. At this point I might just crawl into bed. I'm very tired. But tomorrow we're gonna try to do something, because I don't want to just make this vlog be me in my house. We are going to get out and we are gonna do something. What? I don't know. I know I need to get creamer from the grocery store. I don't think that's gonna be our journey. We're gonna go on a journey though, somewhere, anywhere, getting out of this house, because we need to. So, cheers. Friends. Ooh. Having a quiet morning this morning. Catching up on messages from my book group and talking to the boyfriend and having some coffee and reading with the pupper. Don't know how much reading I'm actually going to get done today, because we are going to go for a hike today, I think. Nothing crazy. I'm trying to think of where we can go. It's very hot today. It's only like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. And it's already very hot. I don't want to go anywhere crazy. Kenny's here. So that's what we're gonna do this morning. So it's just a nice quiet morning. There's a bee. I don't do well with bees. So let's find some breakfast, shall we? of wine, I'm going to hunker down and read finally for the day. I read maybe about 30 pages this morning, but then my boyfriend came over and we went for a hike, which you guys saw, and we made dinner and we did stuff, blah, 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 blah. So now it is reading time. He has gone home. Hemi is sitting next to me, panting heavily because it is still kind of warm. We are all going to eventually go upstairs and where it's a little cooler because I have the air conditioning running, and we're going to read in the reading chair. But this is going to be my last update for the day because I feel like there's a lot of footage from the hike. I tried to get you some really good shots. I really love hiking around New York, especially where I live. It's so beautiful, and I love it. Like, it's so stunningly beautiful. Like the lower Hudson Valley, the Hudson Valley is so gorgeous. Like, if you need to come here, if you come to New York City in the future when we're allowed to go places, please come up to the Hudson Valley and check out some things because it is, well, I love it. So if you follow my stories, you already know this. I am obviously a new booktuber. I haven't even hit my 1 year mark on Instagram as a bookstagrammer. I don't even have like a huge following, but like, you know, like I really love doing this, and I love the validation of having you guys follow me and talk to me and like the content I'm creating because I really truly enjoy creating content. And there's nothing better than finding out that you guys enjoy the content I create. So it's like, it's mutually good. What is this? Anyway, so I've started finally feeling confident enough to reach out to publishers, and one of the publishers I reached out to was HarperCollins, and I came home today to a box and I was like, Jesus is my boyfriend's name. I said, Jesus, I did not order any books because he's always like, Alyssa, you buy too many books. I said, I did not buy any books. I don't know what that box is. And I picked it up and I saw it was from HarperCollins, and they sent me 4 books.
Not even ARCs. They sent me 4 books. Books. Like, these are hardcover books.
Well, this one isn't, but like this, I don't have words for how excited I am that like a publisher thinks that what I'm making is worthy enough for me to market their wares. I know that like lots of people get sent stuff, but like, thank you, HarperCollins. Like, speechless. Anyway, so let's just quickly go through like what they sent me. And we're just gonna start with the thing that's probably gonna get read first, and that's Catherine House. And I know that Catherine House is out now. This is kind of like Roses and Rot, which is one of my favorite books. And it's like this private school, and there's like mysterious things going on. I think there may even be like some death and tragedy, and they kind of have to like suss it out, and it's everything that I love. It's YA, and I absolutely love books like this. And I apologize that Hemi is panting. It has been really hot. He's not feeling well in general, so he's a little panty today. So, but anyway, this is probably gonna be the first book that I read of these 4, and I am super psyched for this. I can tell you that I'm not terribly jazzed to read City of Girls, and some of us that are reading it in this buddy read are also not jazzed as they're reading it. So like, there's every chance that this just substitutes that book, which is annoying because it doesn't count for my chunky book June challenge, but like, I don't care. This is so good. The other book that I will probably start soon is The Daughter of the Reich. And this is about, first of all, I love World War II historical fiction, period. That whole genre, love it. I don't care where you go in it. I don't care what country you go in it. Like, I just love that genre of historical fiction. It's my jam. I know, Hemi, it's my jam. It's my jam. So this is interesting because it is the daughter of a high-ranking Nazi officer, and I guess she has a Jewish friend, and it's sort of all the conflicts and issues that arise with that pairing of people, and then it takes you through the historical context of World War II. So, yes, and I think I have another book that I think I'm gonna have to do like TBR chunk, reading chunk that's a historical fiction like theme, because I have so many of these. I have The Dutch Wife, I think, and a few other things that I want to get to. But I mean, this is, and it's out now. I mean, these are all finished copies. So if you want to read this, please go pick up a copy, because yes, I'm excited. And then my last two books are actually part of series. So I haven't read Christopher Moore, but everybody and their mother has told me to read Christopher Moore. So this is Shakespeare for Squirrels, and it's the third in a trilogy, and I found on Thrift Books the first and second. Because we all know what's happening with Book Outlet, and I guess Book Outlet's canceled, and let's all just move on. I don't have even time to even discuss this right now. Thrift Books, please don't let me down, because I need a discount bookseller, because I can't afford to keep a bookstagram with the libraries down. I just can't. So I need my discount booksellers, okay? So please don't let me down. Anyway, so I ordered the first two of this. And I don't really know if I can read this to you, but I guess it's, let's see, it's the best-selling author, Christopher Moore's uproariously unholy trio, Pocket, the hero Fool, and the Serpent of Venice, his sidekick Drool, and his pet monkey Jeff are back in this humorous, hard-boiled take on William Shakespeare's most performed play, A Midsummer's Night's Dream. And I guess the way that I understand it is, first of all, Christopher Moore is supposed to be a trip to read, and I have a feeling that I'm going to be like, how have I not read all of his books before? Two, I love anything that's a Shakespeare retelling, so yes, I can't wait for the other two to come in, and then we're just gonna bang all three of these out, and we're gonna read this because we need to. What I don't know about this is if you can read them separately, but I'll let you guys know as I read them if you can. Obviously, I literally just placed that Thrift Books order. I don't have them. It's gonna take some time. And the last thing is this book called West Side Saints, and I guess this is the second in a series, and the first one is called West Side. And it's set sort of in like the Harlem Renaissance period, and it's a murder mystery thriller sort of thing. And I love the Harlem Renaissance. Let me tell you. So I was a bio major in college, and I have zero, like, I am not like your typical, I'm not a library of literary sciences, I'm not a librarian sciences, I don't know what literary sciences is. That librarian sciences? I don't know. It's not my thing. I did biology, but I didn't do anything in like the arts or literature or anything like that. But my classes that were my break from my heavy science courses were my lit courses. I took a lot of them pass-fail, but they were my lit courses and my art classes. And I don't consider myself very good at like literature and writing. I am a fan, but I am not an expert. At criticism, and like I don't consider myself very good at art, but I enjoy doing it. So that's where I am. This is what I do for fun. I like to be creative, and I like to read. And two of the things that I spent a lot of time learning about: Harlem Renaissance, Shakespeare. So these two books, when HarperCollins gave me a list of books I could choose, I was like, yes, give me these, because this is like right up my alley. So I also ordered the first one of this series from Thrift Books, and hopefully that'll arrive soon, and then I can get through these two and these three, and I can read a whole bunch of things about Nazis and World War II and that whole era, because I love it. I even have Wolf by Wolf and Blood by Blood, which is an alternative narrative of World War II, where what if the Nazis won the war. I love stories like that because I think it's an interesting exercise in writing. I also have The Man in the High Tower, which I've never read. I watched the first couple episodes when they came out on Amazon Prime, but I never read it. So like, we may have to have a World War II month. I don't know if you're with me for this journey, but it's gonna happen. Accept it. Okay. So I'm going to take this. We're going to go upstairs. I'm going to sign off for the night. I'm going to let my baby cool down here because he's very hot and he really doesn't feel well today. His tummy has not been very good. So we're going to get him cool and comfy, and yeah. And me. Do you want to go bedtime? Yeah? Go! I'm coming! And go! here. I've got coffee. I've got banana bread overnight oats for my hunger group box. And I'm going to keep reading Imaginary Friend. I do work today, and I didn't sleep well last night, so I'm going to just update you this morning. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of footage of us walking the dogs this morning. I'm going to have my coffee and my imaginary oats, my overnight oats, and I'm going to read some more Imaginary Friend because I would like this book to end now. It's not that it's bad, it's that it just... So I'm on page 436, and there's still like 300 pages to go. And I'm just not... Normally at this point you start to see like the little pieces coming together and that there's going to be some resolution, but they just keep sort of adding things to the story as opposed to like winding down the story. So, sorry. My battery died on my big camera and we're now on my phone because my battery on this thing is AA batteries, which is great when you have AA batteries in the house. It's not great when you don't. So my point with Imaginary Friend is that I think it just, I'm hoping that it's just going to be a case of like this should have been edited a little bit so that it's streamlined for like 100 pages in the middle. And it's not like the book's bad. Because the writing's really good, which is what I expect from Stephen Chomsky. Chomsky, I want to call him. Stephen Chbosky. Hi, buddy. But it definitely is dragging here. And my friend said that she didn't get bored until about page 500. I started getting bored around 400. It's a 700 and something page book. It's low 700s, but it's a 700 page book. I do not want to slog through 300 pages, you know? We'll see what happens. But this is my only update for today. I am off tomorrow. Today I work and I'm on call and I did not sleep well. So I'm gonna want to just kind of like zone out. And then tomorrow I will wrap up this whole reading vlog so that I can start getting it edited. But we'll do another day tomorrow. See how he's feeling better today. He ate and his stomach's better and he's just a better puppy today. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna get myself ready for work. I desperately need a shower. Yeah. Bye. It has been an interesting morning. It's about 8:45 on Saturday morning. I've had a rough beginning of my day. Hemi is not feeling well. We think he has IBS, so he has these moments where he doesn't do well. Excuse me, I think I'm allergic to something, so my tongue's kind of swollen. I have a sore throat. I don't know, I'm like falling apart today. But it's a good day to fall apart because it's Saturday and I'm off for 4 days. I've spent the morning just kind of being quiet and taking care of Hemi and editing most of this vlog because today's gonna be the last day of filming for it, so I'll get most of it roughly edited so I can put in music and yada 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 tomorrow and start the process of trying to upload it to YouTube so you guys can watch it. So hopefully this is going up Sunday, if not Monday. But I finished Imaginary Friend last night. I don't even know what to say about this book. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know if I liked it. Anyway, so I think we're gonna have to run this through Cawpile, which is, I didn't know about this rating sort of system that Book Roast put out. years ago that a lot of bloggers use, and I think it'll help me streamline some of my ratings, especially for books like this where it's harder for me to give it a rating. So it looks at characters, atmosphere, writing, plot, intrigue, logic, and enjoyment. And you rate things from 1 to 10, and it sort of generates a, what's it called? A rating system for you out of stars. So 1 to 3 is really bad, 4 to 6 is mediocre, 7 to 9 is really good, 10 is obviously outstanding. So let's just run this quickly through it because this was very projectable for me. It was also ran a little long, it could have been streamlined, and also I'm not really big into like religious themes in like Christian religious themes in writing, and this was very heavily like God, Catholicism centered, and there are things in this that make me very uncomfortable, and I wonder if some of that's the point, but I have to unpack this with my friend that I buddy read this with because my brain. But anyway, characters, they were all right. I would give them a 7. They weren't mediocre, they weren't outstanding. Atmosphere, I think I'll give that an 8. Like, I think he did a good job. I mean, the writing was very good. We'll give that an 8 as well. The plot was all right. So maybe like a 6. I feel like that's, man, I'm gonna go a 7 for intrigue because I was intrigued, but also then he lost me and then I was sort of intrigued again. Logic, I don't understand this book, so we're just gonna go right down the middle and go 5. And enjoyment, I don't know. So I'm gonna go right down the middle again and I'm gonna go 5 and see what we get here. So the rating is a 6.57, I think it says here. This is so very small. My old lady eyes cannot read this. 6.57, which is a 3-star rating. Okay. I mean, I guess this is acceptable. Maybe that's where it sits, is like right in the middle. It's an okay read. I don't know if I'm glad I read it though. I feel like it wasted my time. Anyway, so this has been a really long update for me to say, I don't know about this book. I need to unpack it. I don't understand a lot of it. Like, I legitimately don't understand it. I have to go online and find people who have dissected this and like it. But not right now because I want to finish editing and I want to take care of my dog. And I want to just relax and enjoy my first day off. Tomorrow we can do intensive things. Anyway, so the next thing I have to read, which I'm not exactly excited about, is, for whatever reasons, this is not, you know, sometimes you get jazzed to read a book and like you can't wait to start it. I just don't know if I care about this book. We're gonna listen to City of Girls today, while I do things around the house and relax and take care of the dog and stuff. And hopefully I can finish it today, and then we can wrap this all up later in the day. So I'm gonna go and get back to my day. I'm gonna have to find him some rice and chicken broth because I don't know what he can eat right now, and he's staring at me because he's hungry. But he's so sick, he's not supposed to eat anything, and I feel so bad. Anyway, so I'm just hoping next week is a better reading week, and I'm gonna try to vlog again because I think next week I have to read Mill Game as a buddy read. So that's exciting. And then I don't know what other chunky book I'm gonna read. I think what I might read for chunky books is A Well-Behaved Woman, to get a little like historical non-fiction fiction stuff going on. And then the other thing I might read is The Last Magician, because this I'm excited to read. This I'm excited to read. This I'm excited to read. And I need to be excited about my reading because I'm not excited about my reading this week. At least my big boy reading. I was excited this week. I also read 3 other books, and we're just going to briefly talk about them because these are their moment. I read The Ballad of Black Tom, which is a little novella, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was like dark and mysterious and sort of magical realism, and has a lot to say about race, and was very I guess if I read more into it, I would have known that it was about sort of racial stuff, but like I don't read synopses. I just kind of like pick up books or read books that people recommend me, and I'm like, oh, and because I like the journey. So I really enjoyed the journey. I thought it was a really good book. I thought it was very apt for right now. I read Rolling in the Deep, which is a Mira Grant novella, which I think falls into her little like mermaid, devil mermaid world. It was interesting. I think I need to like read the actual book. I think it's Into the Deep or something like that. I need to read that. And maybe I'll understand it more. I don't know if this is a novella, this is like a prequel novella, if this is like a post novella or what, but it was just sort of on script, and it was it's a novella, so it was a shorter audiobook for me to listen to while I was at work, because I like to listen to little novellas and stuff while I'm at work when I can. Obviously I can't do that all the time, but like if I'm doing something monotonous, like it's nice to do that. And when they're really short, I can actually get through something. And the other thing I listened to yesterday, and I finished on my drive home, which is why I finished Imaginary Friend later than I wanted to, was The Black Flamingo. If you have not read this book, one, it's on script, so you can listen to it, so there's no excuse. And two, it's phenomenal. Just go get it. I ordered myself a hard copy when I was done with it because it was so good. Like, I was so happy. Anyway, so I'm gonna stop blabbing at you because I blab too much, and plus it's really hard for me to talk with my tongue all swollen. We're falling apart here in this house, but that's all right. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. So, that's my sick patient. Good morning, folks. I filmed the wrap up for this yesterday evening, but it was so hard for me to talk with my throat that I'm just gonna film it for a third time and quickly wrap this up. So I finished City of Girls yesterday evening. I ran it through Cawpile and got a 3-star rating, but now that I've slept on it, I think I want to drop that down to 2.5. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with this book. I don't think there's anything really special about it either. I think this book is like the watered down Evelyn Hugo. Like, there's just enough LGBTQ, there's just enough POC, not even just enough. There's a dash of POC, let's be honest. There's not enough. There's like a quick mention to get it in there. And I get why our main character's so stupid in the beginning, or for like 2/3 of the book, and that's because she's young and naive, but like, she's so stupid. And like, I know that they had to make her bohemian so that she could have all these experiences, but like, I don't know. I think that the writing about costumery and dressmaking is beautiful. I think the writing, how the city is portrayed, is beautiful. The characters are fine, but like, there's just something missing, and something that doesn't resonate with me. So I think I'm gonna knock it down to 2.5 stars, because as much as I don't understand 100% the overarching message of Imaginary Friend, I think it was better written. I think it was quantitatively better, yet the numbers don't come out that way. So I'm knocking this down to 2.5. So that's this week. Next week, I'm going to film. It's Sunday morning. So I'm going to wrap up this little clip, throw it into the rest of my video, finish editing. I've got to put in some tracks and just make sure it all works, and then start the whole uploading experience. And I will see you guys next week. There's no vlogging today. Today is about catching up with my life. And I think I'm gonna listen to Joe and Lori while I